All right, we're live. So my name is Amar, and this is Kyle,
Hello.
and and we're going to talk about wash sale rules and kind of how that impacts like crypto and securities and property and all sorts of stuff. So before we get started, want to put our disclosures up there, and let me change it like this. So Kyle and I are not giving specific investment advice. We haven't taken your accounts or account of your situation into this. This is purely educational. And is there anything else you would like to add, Kyle?
Yeah, this is just purely advice, and we're just here providing a discussion for you guys to listen in on. So it's not official advice, and if you ever have any official questions, please feel free to inquire with either Amar or myself, and we're happy to help from there. But yeah, please don't hold us to account on anything we discuss here today.
Yeah. So exactly. So we're always open for people to reach out to us, and we'll put our contact information in the description below. But let's start with wash sales. What are wash sales? You want to kind of give us a high level? What are we talking about with the wash sale?
So wash sales come up every so often. I think a lot of people have become day traders, and people are maybe more active, and trading's never been easier than it has now. And so a lot of people are kind of caught off guard with what's called the wash sale rule. And so the wash sale rule is when you sell a security and then purchase an identical security back within 30 days. And so what this does is disallow your tax loss. And so I think it defeats the purpose of a lot of people selling off the security and purchasing it right back anyways. And so the IRS is keen to this, and it's been an established rule for many, many years. And you just want to make sure that you're, avoiding it where you can. I think I've had clients in the past, on December 31st, they tax loss harvest all of their losses at the end of the year. And then one of my clients was all proud. He goes, "Hey, I bought right back in. It was great." And I went, "Oh man, well, you're not going to get those tax losses now."
It's one of those things that you got to be really careful with. And a lot of clients, that have dividend reinvestment and stuff like that can unintentionally create a wash sale too, right? Like with some of these transfers of, sales and creating a loss, but then discarding that loss because of a purchase. And also, it doesn't have to be in the same account, right? It could be in different accounts that this can happen in.
That's right. So the every security has a QSIP number, and that's tied to your social security number. And so you can't get cheeky and think that you can, sell in one account and then buy it back into another. If you have a Vanguard account and buy it in Fidelity, or you sell it in your brokerage account and buy it back in your IRA, that all gets tracked for the wash sale rules. Because like I said, this has been a long established rule. It's, IRS and SEC regulations, and they're all hip to it. So it's hard to get around it. If you're doing publicly traded securities, there's really, you have to be really careful. I'm very aware of these rules, and I had wash sales in my account last year just because I was careless and I forgot I sold this little small piece of this one security last year. So it's really easy to get caught up in, and it's just something you should be monitoring across all accounts. And so when you have a wash sale, it's not typically lost forever. If you sell a security and then buy it back within 30 days, it usually just adjusts the basis on the security. And so it just defers your tax loss until later, essentially. One caveat there is that if you sell in a brokerage account and buy it back in an IRA, well, now you've lost it forever. You can't recapture that because the IRA is not going to have the basis adjustment that you had in the initial sale. So usually it's not the end of the world. It can really affect the timing of your losses. So if you're trying to do some tax planning, you just have to be very careful. And then also like buying across accounts, like I mentioned.
Yeah, man. Well, so wash sale rules have been here for a really long time. what hasn't been in here for a really long time is crypto, right? So how do wash sale rules impact cryptocurrencies? Because I think this is I would call it an advantage. Would you say that it's an advantage with the how crypto is treated regarding the wash sale?
Yeah, so I think I just learned about this year. Obviously, I think a lot of things are evolving with cryptocurrency, and the IRS ruled years ago that cryptocurrency is property, right? And so it's not a security currently, and so it's treated as property, and you're not subject to these wash sale rules under the current tax code. So what this allows you to do is, if there's losses, I think there's a big dip in the crypto markets recently. You could sell off all of your crypto and buy right back in and have no wash sales. So let's say you have Bitcoin at 50,000 and then it dips down to 35,000. Well, you can sell your 1.1 Bitcoin, yeah, and then buy it back in at 1.5, and then you get a little bit more of the upside. If on when it goes back up, and you still get to recognize that tax loss, whereas you don't get that advantage on securities. And so, yeah, and it's that's the law as written right now. I wouldn't count on that being the law going forward. I think this is an evolving space, and I think obviously regulations typically lag behind what's happening in the true market. And as cryptocurrency has been traded more frequently, and the speed and the volume of trading has just increased, exponentially in the last 12 months. So I wouldn't count on this being a rule going forward, but as it stands right now, you wouldn't be subject to the wash sale rules on cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and so just to make sure this is perfectly clear, let's say you buy like Apple stock, right? And then you sell it, you have to wait 30 days plus before you can buy it again to avoid the wash sale rule. And most people with like index funds, they try to find an index that closely resembles the original index that they buy. I think it can't be more than 70% similar or something like that. There's an IRS rule, right, Kyle? That's around that. With crypto, the biggest difference is you could sell, capture that loss, and buy right in right away, and not have that 30-day wait. And with the volatility that you see within the crypto space, I mean, this is a huge advantage, is that you can essentially tax loss harvest as much as possible, or as frequently as possible. One thing that we should say is that you're resetting the basis, though, right? And eventually, when you have that big gain, you're going to have a larger capital gain just later on down the road.
That's right. And so you're also resetting your holding period. So if you ever wanted to achieve the long-term capital gains, you're setting yourself back on the clock to hit that 12-month horizon on long-term capital gains versus short-term capital gains.
And that's big, right? And so like what we're trying to say is that, yes, this wash sale is a benefit for crypto investors, but you have to be careful. You have to look at your time period. So if you're a long-term investor, then this is probably more in line with that. Or else you may be triggering short-term capital gains if you need to sell within 12 months because you're resetting that clock. Is there anything else that we should think about when we're harvesting gains or doing wash sale rules that we haven't covered, Kyle?
Yeah, I think, just the gist of it is that the IRS won't let you take the tax loss until you have a true economic loss, right? And so if you sell the security and buy it back in, the IRS says, hey, you're in the same position you were 2 days ago. You didn't lose anything yet. And so that's the whole gist of why they do the wash sale rules. And there's just a few small things you can do, and just keeping track of all your accounts and just being aware of it is put you ahead of the curve. So
there you go.
Yeah, and I think especially in the crypto space, I think it's huge opportunity. I think it's easy to trade crypto right now, and so you can reset your basis and increase the upside on doing what would be a wash sale on the security, but with crypto.
Yeah. So obviously, we're just trying to provide education. Consult with your own tax advisor, your own investment advisor, to see if there's strategies that apply to your specific situation. If you have any questions or concerns, or leave a comment below. And Kyle and I are going to try to do a video every now and then and try to answer some of your questions. So please do put comments. But I think this is a good place to end. What do you think, Kyle?
I think that's enough for me today on wash sales. So appreciate everybody's time, right? And look forward to the next video. We'll talk soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.